hour. Now, in this book, Freemasonry in American History by Alan Roberts, is a record of our space program and the Masonic participation in it. From John Glenn to Buzz Aldrin, on and on and on. It seems the majority of our astronauts are Freemasons of the secretive Masonic lodges. Isn't that fascinating? Wish I had time to tell you the names of all of these, but you can see I have it marked to the chapter. And by the way, it's interesting. The chapter is called Eyes in the Sky. It's chapter 33 that talks a lot about Freemasonry in the space program. And of course, 33 is the highest initiation ritual of Freemasonry. I'm sure all of that is simply a coincidence as well. In this book that was put out by Time Life, Ancient Wisdom and Secret Sects, now this was put out by Time Life Books some years ago, is a very interesting item in here about what else? Well, about the U.S. space program. It notes that in looking at secret societies and Masonic groups, that a number of the Masons, of course, were indeed members of the Masonic Lodge. But then it's revealed this interesting tidbit. It seems that astronaut Edwin Buzz Aldrin, remember now, he was part of the crew that was the very first to sit down on the moon, we are told. Buzz Aldrin, remember Neil Armstrong and so forth. They landed on the moon, or did they? But in any case, as this book denotes, astronaut Buzz Aldrin, a 33rd degree Mason, took with him this strange pennant. Now, this was never in the press. Dan Rather, Walter Cronkite, and all the news people didn't tell you about it. But here this strange pennant or flag. Supreme Council, 33rd degree, Southern Jurisdiction of Freemasonry. The double-headed eagle. And this flag was placed on the moon. And they actually claimed the moon for Freemasonry. Did you know that? It was our taxpayer dollars that paid for the spacecraft and this mission. But when they got there, they claimed it was the territory now of Freemasonry. I think that's very odd. In fact, as incredible as this may seem, and here we have Leviathan in space in all its glory, here in the March 2000 edition of the Scottish Rite Journal, this is the #1 Masonic publication in the world, it says that a lodge, a Masonic lodge, has been established on the moon. And this was in the summer of let's see, let me make sure I get this right for you here, my friends. Talks about the astronauts who landed, 2 American astronauts. One of them, it says, was Edwin Eugene Buzz Aldrin, 33rd degree, a member of Clear Lake Masonic Lodge number 1417. But now they have chartered in the year 2000, Masonic Lodge number 2000 in the Sea of Tranquility. And it says that Buzz Aldrin, as a special deputy of the Grand Master of Freemasonry, has been granted full power to claim Masonic territorial jurisdiction on the moon, and that was done during that flight. But now you can, if you join the Freemasons, you can become a member of Lodge 2000, which is a Masonic lodge on the moon. I wonder how they get up there and meet. Do they go up there in spirit? Now we understand, and by the way, this is a picture out of a news magazine quoting astronaut Neil Armstrong. Remember that? Supposedly when their lander set foot on the moon, it was announced to the whole world back in 1969, Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Why did they name it Eagle? Was it not after the double eagle? Did anybody know that in addition to the American flag, they would first, of course, plant the flag of Freemasonry, the double-headed eagle, and that even their lander would be named the Eagle, and it would be announced, in other words, that the Masonic Eagle has landed. And now at that same base where the moonshot was, the Tranquility Base, they say they have a Masonic lodge there. They own the place. Very, very strange and bizarre. is it not? Now, one of the interesting aspects of our space program, my friends, is that we continue to be inundated with photographs and pictures from space. Some of these are quite odd and weird to the extreme. We're going to look at some of these. Scientists say they've been able to find a treasure trove of information from these different, the Hubble Space Telescope, and of course even the astronomers here on Earth-based telescopes. But it's fascinating. For example, in this huge newspaper item that's really across the United States, Associated Press and others carried it, William Cochran, a University of Texas astronomer, said, "It's a revolution. We have a lot of really valuable new data that has allowed us to rethink a lot of things, unveiling the heavens." Here's a picture, by the way, of the Chandra X-ray Observatory. Quite a stunning picture, is it not? By the way, the Chandra X-ray Observatory, Chandra is a word meaning star. Some people point out the preposterous but interesting thought that Chandra Levy, the intern for Congressman Condit in Washington, D.C., her name was Chandra, which of course meant a star. Some say she was a victim of a satanic sacrifice there in Washington, D.C., and it was the sacrifice of the star goddess. Now, here we see an explosion that supposedly dazzled scientists from space. This orbiting Chandra X-ray telescope sent back this fantastic image in space. Here's an interesting one. This is from the European magazine of all places. And this is, again, this is Jupiter's satellite, Io, and a picture of it. And it says it looks like a huge planet pizza piping hot. Let me try to get that straightened out a little bit for you. And you know, it does look sort of like a huge plate of pizza, does it not? Would you like large, medium, or small today, sir? Well, in any case, here was a picture that came out of the Hubble Space Telescope, and I first looked at it, and the caption doesn't say anything about it, but I kept looking at this and looking at this, and, well, it just seemed to me there was the face of a beast. Is that not the face of a beast? Do you not make out the chin and the lips and the nose and the eyes and the head? Isn't that a strange creature in space that has been sighted? You wonder about Lucifer being the star who fell from heaven. Maybe this is some other kind of a beast that's been observed in the heavens. Is that too far out? Here's from the Space Telescope, and even National Geographic was stunned, so stunned that this became the front cover of the National Geographic magazine. This is an actual photograph from Hubble's Eye on the Universe, says National Geographic. Imagine that. We've heard about the all-seeing eye on our $1 bill. Is this the all-seeing eye in space of Lucifer? Is he looking down on us, the prince of the power of the air? Could it be? Very odd indeed. Here's some more pictures. This is from a very popular astronomical type magazine. Are these creatures from space standing on pedestals, staring down at us? Nightmarish creatures in the sky? It does seem too far-fetched, does it not? And then there are these strange experiments and the strange happenings in space. For example, here's a children's book of all things. It's called Spinning in Space. And it talks in this book about, well, let me just show it to you if I might. Although this is for kids, it says that one of the experiments in space, the astronauts took spiders on board to see if they would spin their little webs. Here's an artist's conception of what occurred from the Skylab project. Here's the hatching of thousands